And we are live.
Yeah. You know
Can
what
we
it
start it from
is.
the beginning, please?
That is the
Get
beginning.
into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son making sense out of
Oh yeah.
nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's on. Now let's listen.
Oh,
Now that's crazy.
now that's nonsense.
Yes. We'll need to fill them in on what that even is.
No, we don't.
Oh, all right.
Welcome to the show, Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense, plus more.
Plus so much, so much more.
So much more. We have a jam packed show, so we don't have time for any falderall or fiddly dee. This is a jam packed show. So we're going to have to leave explanations for another time, something to look forward to.
That sounds good. I'm down for that.
Well, thank you for going along with the flow. What's your word of the day?
My word of the day is moxie. Moxey. We may have had it before, but it's such a good word, we thought I'd bring it back. And the definition is a force of character, determination, or nerve. The sentence is when you've got moxie, you need the clothes to match. That's
Oh,
you. That's me.
I
That's me too.
I like that because I'm filled with moxie. I'm all moxied out.
You're all moxied out.
Moxie. I got on my moxie t-shirt. This moxie t-shirt says,
Oh, that does have mox. You can take the girl out of Roseburg, but you can't take Roseburg out of. That's so you. That feels like a shirt that was made for you.
it was made for me. It doesn't feel like it. It was made for me, and I made 3 of them. I have a purple, a red, and a black.
Oh, nice. So you're all Roseburg.
I'm all Roseburg. She's from Roseburg. Where's
She's from
Roseburg?
Roseburg. Mhm.
She is Roseburg. My word of the day is, oh, and we have a viewer, but then they left.
Well, what else is new?
I love when people do the pop in
Yeah.
and the pop out. Welcome and goodbye. My word of the day is,
We wouldn't watch your show either. Pardon me. Go ahead.
oh, see, I love it when people come and leave. I'm used to it. It happens when I'm a fitness instructor. I'm a very tough one. And I've had people look and see it's me teaching, especially if I'm subbing, and then they run the other way or they walk the other way or they her, and then they're out.
I don't think it's because the class is tough. No offense.
It's not. It's because of me.
Well,
They
it is
can't
personal.
stand me. They
They
can't stand the way
stand you.
they can't stand you. They don't like the way I talk. They don't like the way I teach. They don't like the way I instruct. They don't like the jokes. All of it. They
They
don't
don't like
it.
any part of it.
None of it. They don't want to have
Funny.
nothing to do with me.
That's so funny.
As hard for you to believe that, is hard for anyone to believe that.
That is really tough. Listen, I might joke and I might poke fun, but I do like you quite a bit.
You do?
You do?
You do?
I do. I reluctantly since when? Since I was born.
Oh, you were stuck with me when you were born. I had you needed me to feed you, but no. You like me?
Listen, just because I like you doesn't mean there's things that I don't like too.
Now that makes sense.
Well, pardon my interruption. I'm very curious to hear what your word is.
No, you're not, but I'll push on anyway. In honor of the Olympics that I'm hardly watching from
Same.
Paris, from Paris. No, no disrespect.
No disrespect or offense.
I never heard of this word before, and it is a French word, and it's called
Repêchage. Repêchage.
repechage, and it's new to the Olympics. And what does that mean? This is the first time, at least that I know, first time they implemented this at the Olympics. It's giving the athletes a second chance.
No, I've never heard that. Well, what a good word.
Yes, repechage. It says so a contest in which when it used to be when you went these trial runs or trial games before the actual gold medal. You have to not apply. What is it?
Yeah, I think it's the trial, the Olympic trials.
The trials.
Yeah.
And then so if you didn't make this time, then you're out. But now they're giving the people that didn't make a certain time, and I don't have it all the way down, but they're giving these athletes a second chance. So it's repechage, and you can see it. It's called RE on the Olympic boards with the people's names, and they give track people a second chance. I think all of them get a second chance. I think that's pretty cool.
It was very cool, and so yes, we'll have to do a little bit of digging, but I like the theme of second chance. We all deserve a repechage.
Yes, and I'm giving you a repechage. Just the beginning of the show. One of these days, we're going to have the song loud and have a nice ending. But I digress. So
Well,
let me
thank
give
you
you
for that. No, I was going to give you a repechage too.
not needed. What is the
She's
meaning?
hot. Yeah, you're undefeatable. You really don't need a repechage. You get the KO from round one.
Well, thank you for noticing that. So let me give you the definition of repechage. The meaning: in a heat of competition, especially in rowing or fencing or track or any other, which I was looking at, sports, swimming, is in which eliminated contestants have another chance to qualify for the next round or to get to the final round.
Have another chance.
Repechage.
Repechage. All right.
So hopefully people that come in and look at the show and turn it off and leave and went away screaming, pulling their hair out, no, I'll never watch that show again. They'll give us a repechage.
Yes, give us a repechage. And if you can't handle the moxie.
Some people can't handle the moxie. It does hurt when you're looking into the sun.
So anyways, so you said it was jam-packed. What else is going on?
Well, thank you for asking.
And I'm just going to take 1 sec, but I can still hear you though.
Oh,
Go
what are
ahead.
you need a break?
Just a little kitty break. I'll be right back, but I can hear
Oh,
you.
girls, give them hell, girls.
Thanks.
Give them hell. Well, I was going to talk about this since it is mother and son, but look at this. He's gone. The feeling of an obligation to your parents, a feeling of obligation to your mother, a feeling of obligation to the father. Are you, it is the feeling of obligation to parents. What is that? And I wanted to ask you, do you feel, because in the beginning, when I say in the beginning of my growth or expansion, whatever you want to call it, I had that whole program notion. Yeah, this kid is going to be obligated to me, obligated to his mother, to if I need him. Of course, Mother's Day, where's my Mother's Day card? Where's my Mother's Day shout out? All of it. And then I don't even remember when we switched it up, Nathan. And you said this too. Holidays are overrated, which was a snowball into this obligation to celebrate a holiday, obligation to my mother. So I wanted to ask you, what has your journey been with that whole obligation? And this is really pertaining to me, if you would like to share.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of that word obligation. The other word that came to me was expectation, and having an expectation of, okay, on Mother's Day, I need to do this for you. And Well, I mean, I'm blurring the timelines a little bit, but I know for recently in our yeah, our more recent years, you told me I don't need to thank you for a gesture you do, or if you pay for a meal or anything you give to me, gift, you don't need a thank you. So, I mean, that's just a mini version of giving without expectation, without obligation. So you're my mother, I'm your son. I feel like you do such a service as a mom. Of course I have to do something in return. You give this, it feels like transactional, and just along the way, it not being a transactional relationship. You do this, then I do the tit for tat. You do this, you don't do this, then I don't do that.
Can we be more specific? But let me, I'm
Yeah,
just talking
well,
about specific, only just to be clearer. The whole and the whole obligation of this is a certain day to blast through the programming on this day. I have to behave like this. And getting back to that obligation of giving a gift, because now I've got another topic, but giving a gift, this is my perspective. Scratch it. This is the truth. Giving a gift and expecting a thank you, or expecting appreciation, or expecting anything in return is not really giving. And you want to hear, this is what I got to this year, this week. It's horrible. These cheap people, that I always complain about, they're so cheap. They're takers. You're either a giver or you're taker, and they're takers. Guess what? The universe just hit me with this week. It's horrible. That's when you know you're a real giver, when you can give to the people that don't give back, when you can give to the takers, when you can give to the people that don't give you crap. That's when you're really giving.
well, I believe that. That's a really good one, and good luck with that. I don't envy that at all. It's there are times I feel it's easy to give to anybody, give to the non-givers, give to the bad moods, give to the dismissive. But other times I give it, and then if I spot that, I'm gonna take it right back. And then as far as I'm still thinking about obligation, and for me it comes down to, if I don't do this thing that I think you want or need, then we're going to have a problem in the form of your attitude, in the form of my attitude, emotions. I need to do this so that I can have peace in myself.
Have peace in yourself, have peace in the relationship.
Yes. And I think by doing whatever it is, showing up on the holiday, that it's going to create peace. And I think it does create a kind of peace. It's just not a lasting peace. I don't even know if
Well,
peace is the right word, but it creates something where it muffles it. It muffles it, but it doesn't really clean it out.
Well, I can feel the difference when somebody is feeling obligated to do something for me, as opposed to just giving freely. There's a different vibration to that. And I can feel the difference. I'm going to say that I believe most people have the ability to feel the difference of, and they can feel the difference when they're judged, and they can feel, they call it the cold shoulder or the silent treatment, all of that tit for tat, which by the way, our friend had never even heard of tit for tat. I had to school him on what tit for tat is. It's a real thing.
Oh, that's a very real thing.
Yes.
Well, my practice these days with you is, if I'm not feeling it, to just not say it or to not do it. And for me it's clear, I would say 80% of the time, 85%. Then there's a 15% where I don't know if I'm doing it just for you. I think you would want to hear this, so I'll say it like this. maybe I'm kind of it's a little gray. But that's my practice, is just to lean towards that.
Good. So wrapping everything up, that making, and it is a program, and it is a manipulation, and it is a form of control of wanting somebody to feel obligated to you, whether it's a mother, whether it's a father, whether it's a relationship, wanting someone else to feel a certain, it's just putting anybody else in the mirror. This is a one-way ticket here. Just one person there's only one room.
And then
There's
just
room for
as
just
a
one
little,
person.
oh,
Hmm?
as a backstory, you've been saying you don't want me to feel obligated to you for a very, very long time. Not to feel obligated. I mean, I remember, I feel like college, maybe even before that, just not just to grow up, to be an adult, not to feel obligated to do anything. And you were giving and still do give to me in many ways. And
Endlessly.
endlessly. And for me to really accept that and trust that, and okay, is this person really giving to me, and they're not doing it to get something from me? I mean, that's such a deprogramming for me, because it's such a trust. Because I don't know, well, I don't know if most people are like that or not, but some people are like that and some people aren't. And sometimes in the moment it has strings and sometimes it doesn't, and I feel like I'm on guard. And
Well,
it
if
can look shiny, and it can look like, and even the words, oh, this is just for you, just for you. Oh, you don't need to do this. Well, I don't know if you really, like you said, the energy. Just because they say it doesn't mean. So I have to practice it myself.
yes, and the words, again, the words, watch a person's behavior. I get it, but I think that's a great topic, the whole obligation, and I appreciate you bringing up that I've been asking, or bringing it up. Don't feel obligated to me. Don't feel obligated to me, and that's why I can have several surgeries, and I don't even know where he is.
Right. Well, when you have so many, I mean, I can't show for every single one of them. I got a
Good.
life
Well,
too, and I got my own surgeries. Lord
good.
have mercy.
Good point. Too cliche, touche, and capiche. I'm going to give you a reportage.
Thank you for the reportage. I felt your moxie, honey. Felt your moxie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Felt your moxie.
Good topic. I have to share this. This is what I learned, and I call the truth about the size of of carrot cake.
I love that. That's clever. Let's hear it.
I have this restaurant that I go to that my parents went to. Shout out to Ralph and Marcel, wherever you are.
Well, this is Ralph, but we'll get back to
Yeah,
that.
this is Ralph. What? It's Ralph and Marcel, wherever the hell you are. You go to this restaurant. It's called Blueberry Hill in Las Vegas. Then there's more than one. Anyway, the same Blueberry Hill, and I've been frequenting Blueberry Hill for the last week. I mean, they already know me. You want the roasted chicken? You want the roasted turkey dinner? Yes, the senior dinner. So senior dinner, you get a drink, you get salad, you get turkey, you get dressing, mashed potatoes, steamed vegetables, and at the end you get a piece of carrot cake, whatever dessert you want. You get dessert, piece of carrot cake. And I live for that carrot cake, even though it's only a B minus. I live for the carrot cake because it's a whole under the whole umbrella of being a senior. It's a senior discount. I've been getting big slices of carrot cake, and I eat them in the evening, at night, where it's so bad to eat it, and I just enjoy every bite. Well, a couple of days later, same restaurant, and the carrot cake was a smaller size. And I was upset that they sliced this cake smaller, significantly smaller.
Speaking of cheap.
Beep, 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 cheep, 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 cheep,
Cheap, 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 cheap.
cheep, cheep, cheap, cheap.
So I was waiting for that one.
significantly smaller. And of course, my ego started to pout, 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 pout. The third time I visited, I made sure that my waiter knew I was here the other day and I had the senior meal and my carrot cake was smaller and usually it's a bigger size. I'll take care of you. You're regular. I'll take care of you. No problem. And he gives me 2 pieces of carrot cake. Cha-ching. This is the point. My ego only knows the past. If it wasn't for the past, I wouldn't have, if it wasn't for the past, if I was living in the present moment, I wouldn't have cared about what size the carrot cake was. The ego is all about yesterday and comparing yesterday, having expectations for today. And that's what I wanted to say. The ego is all about yesterday, period. The end.
What a good story and topic, because that's so true. If you didn't take the past into consideration at all, there wouldn't be any size comparison. Well, the yesterday. I was going to bring up the present moment too, and just constantly bring it back to the moment, but it feels almost a little woo for me because the present moment is always shifting, it's always changing, and the present moment, and there is an acknowledgement of the past and the future. I mean, I'm trying to look for ways to not condemn the ego, to know what it is, listen when I want to, and then also speak clearly. Okay, now it's time to, we're not going to be listening anymore, or I hear you, I hear all of your thoughts about the past. Now I'm going to focus on the present moment, just like how we would do with a little kid. And it also makes me think of, your story makes me think of gratitude and just wonder in the moment, being right here, right now, and just appreciating if it's a small piece, if it's a big piece, if it's, some moments aren't big pieces of sweet carrot cake. They're just kind of plain. Like you said, it's a B-. It's not even the best carrot cake in the world.
Sweet carrot cake. But backing up, you used the word condemn the ego. I've never condemned the ego. I used to.
What are you talking about?
I don't condemn it. I describe it. There's a difference.
And you despise it.
No, I despise you.
Well, there you go. Well, finally, we've got some honesty here, 20 minutes into the show. and she's out. That's what we call a hit and run, ladies and gentlemen.
And I don't despise you, but that was really a funny line.
Yes.
No.
Well, listen, I said that, and listen, I could be as wrong, but
could be.
When I hear you talk about your ego, you don't sound very loving towards your ego, but I could be wrong about that.
Well, you are wrong about that. That is your own perspective and your own. So take off, let's see, sunglasses. You put on sunglasses. So pretend these are sunglasses.
All
sunglasses. Right. And guess what? There's a different view. You take off the sunglasses, you have a different look. So yeah, your perspective of what I was talking about, the ego, was all the way down to you thinking, well, she's criticizing the ego. No, I'm telling you right now, I just know my audience. Not criticizing my audience. I know my audience and I know my ego, and my ego is not there to assist me in feeling balanced, calm, surrendering, trusting. Oh, you don't need a bigger slice of carrot cake. My ego recognizes that my ego compares. My ego has expectations. I'm just knowing my audience. No hate.
I'll take your word for it.
Just because you can't do it.
Now. And no, I can't do it. I hate that goddamn ego. No, I really I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But I love that. I do know my audience. And I believe, well, I think my ego is all over the place. I think it's there to distract me. It's there to want something more. It's there to pump me up. Oh, Nathan, you're so amazing. You're so good at this. You're so funny. You're the best. And comparing myself, I think my ego tells me I'm good looking, and my ego tells me I'm not good looking in the same day. So it's all over the place.
Now that is
That's how I see it.
that is a
Yeah.
true statement. It's scattered, it's all over. It's got a story coming out of its ass all the time. Story here, story there. It is constant. It is never sleeping. It's always on, never takes a break, never takes a vacation. And its one job is to keep me out of the present moment.
Well, I like that. Wasn't expecting you to say that. I've heard you say it. One job is to make you feel bad.
Feel discontented, but without the discontentment, if I'm in the present moment, I'm not feeling any discontent because I'm not in the past.
Right, right, right.
So the ego's job is to keep me out of the present moment and keep me in the head of the story. I could take a shower. I could be having my depression therapy that I do now, compression therapy that I do now, and the ego is constant. It just won't shut up. So I know it. And I'm just exposing it, putting a spotlight on it. Speaking of spotlights, my book, Program for Unhappiness, is out now on Amazon, by the way. Thank you. And it's on Lulu and Barnes & Noble. Program for Unhappiness, out now. And it's soon going to be on the New York Times bestseller list. Mark my words.
Well, I was curious. I don't know if you want to read a line or a passage or anything from the book, but that might be kind of fun.
Well, what an interesting. Let's just. Oh, well, I just opened one chapter, and it says it's chapter 6, and the title of this chapter is "I'm offended. So what are you going to do about it?"
Now that's my kind of chapter.
I'm telling you, the chapter titles are bomb.
Well, you're the title queen. Chapter title, titles of book, titles of games. And I don't know how we did this show, but you definitely had a part in titling this.
Yes. Oh, this show. How did we? I don't remember, but yeah, the title. I love the title of the show.
Yeah. So okay, so that's the title. I love that. What about a line?
I'm about to get to it if you just give me a chance. So reminding everyone, because it's been such a long gap. Chapter 6, I'm offended. So what are you going to do about it? You will need a seatbelt for this chapter.
Every chapter. But okay.
Getting or being offended is a deep-seated program used to manipulate and control others. When you change your behavior, your is underlined. When you change your behavior, you will never be offended again. Think about it. Who's more powerful, the person who cannot be offended or the person who was offended by words, behavior, people, symbols, signs, flags, statue, etc.?
What? Bam! Good. That's good stuff. Where can I get this book again?
Thank you for asking. It's on Amazon. And by the way, I've heard this is the best book I've ever read. If I give this book to my clients, they won't need me anymore.
Yeah. Well, listen. If they read the book, take in the book, apply it, soak it in. Yes.
I'll send you your autographed copy.
Yes, please. I've been waiting. Well, that's really good. Okay, offended. Well, listen, I don't want to get offended. I do. There are things that people say or do, or situations, my neighbors, the cat, everything where I do feel it's just not my preference. It's not my preference, and I feel like it's happening to me.
And let's get back to that, because in this book, I list 56 program behaviors, level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 2 or 3 is having a preference. So I had a preference of the size of carrot cake that I wanted. Everything tied into that carrot cake, and everything tied into preferences, comparing expectations, and not in the present moment. All, guess who came up with it? The ego. So not hating it. I just know my audience.
Whew, good stuff.
Your turn, your topic.
Well, let's go to, I did the moment. Let's go to, I'll try to tie this into mother son. This is going a little bit into our past, and the topic is rushing. And the topic is impatience and rushing. Part of why I came up with this, I was talking to a friend earlier this week about relationships and dating, and we had agreed with each other that there is an element in both of us. It's rushing to find a match, rushing to find compatibility. It's not obvious, and I really don't even feel it, but there is a tick of that. And I want to bring it all the way back to mother son, the high school days of rushing to get older, rushing to move out. I've got to get older.
What a mistake.
Tell me about it, because now I'm looking at ways to get back in.
You don't have to look. I'm over here. I'm in Vegas. You know the address? I'll text it to you.
I know exactly where it is, and yeah, you may see me sooner than later, and with 2 cats, if you're okay with that.
Bring them.
All right. So yeah, rushing. I got to get out. I got to come to find out I'm in college. Barely can make a pot of pasta. Having to do my own laundry. What was the big rush? Now I'm 19, 21, 22, miserable. So this rushing to happiness, rushing to a future moment, I've got to make this happen. I've got to get this thing. It's still ego. I mean, if we want to go all the way back to there, but that's my topic.
I love that topic, and I'm going to use another word, a sense of vibration of urgency. There's a urgent, a vibration of, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And guess where it's all coming from? Guess whose idea it all is? It's the ego. You see, not hating on it. I just know my audience. And the ego, the rushing, the urgency to do something other than being satisfied in the present moment. It always comes down to either I'm vibrating a sense of satisfaction or I'm vibrating dissatisfaction in the present moment. When I looked at that small carrot cake, instant dissatisfaction. The past, I wouldn't even be dissatisfied with a small slice of cake. But back to your urgency and your rushing, it's just letting all of that go. How do I surrender? How do I surrender the urgency, the vibration of rushing, the vibration of urgency? How do I surrender that? How do I eliminate that? How do I let go of that? And then it's done. Hi, little loony girl. Looks like Looney.
Yeah, good catch. That's her. And
Yeah.
well, I'll give them a little behind the scenes of the show, because we've been talking about doing something together for a long time, and when it's going to happen, and it feels like we're losing time, we're losing the opportunity, and then here we are doing it now, at the right place at the right time. What do I do with that? I mean, these days, well, like you said with the carrot cake, it's so instant. The ego is just salivating at something to talk about, to be dissatisfied about, to point out, to let its voice be heard. And so the ego's quick. Well, the only thing quicker than the ego is me and my spirit, my true essence. That there is no quickness with that. It's always there. So I think what I do in my practice is Just ego boom, just either catch up to it, just be as quick as it as and as often and as many reminders as I need. And I need a lot of reminders, and some days I need more than others. Some days I need a reminder from you, my mother, and other days you're the last person I need a reminder from.
Amen.
Amen.
But I pray that you give me another repechage.
Rebishash.
Repechage.
I've given you so many rebishage. I don't know if I have any more.
You have plenty. I'll send you some extra repechage.
Please do.
Yeah, to put it in your storage unit. But backing up to your point of the ego and rushing. So that is why the practice is ego self. No, the practice is, oh, look at what it's doing now. It's a detachment and then watching, detaching and watching, just like I'm looking at a theater show or a TV show. Am I part of the show? Am I on stage? Am I in the TV screen? No, I'm not. I'm just going to watch it, and I watch it all the time. And everything behaves differently. I don't care what it is. Physical energy behaves differently. The scientists have proven it when anything is being observed. Just including the ego. It knows when it's being observed. And so its behavior, not to say that it changes, but it knows it's being observed.
There's so many things coming to me. That universe presence, that godlike presence is always observing. It's up to me to open my eyes to that, or to accept the reality of that, or to be in denial of that, or to pretend that. And I was also thinking of, we talked about the story with the cats and me observing the cats. And sometimes it looks like they don't know they're being observed by me.
Well, they do know, but they don't care.
Right.
They really don't.
And I'm thinking about also Big Brother, because I'm watching that because it's on, and how they have those cameras on all the time and being observed and not being observed. I just think it's just an interesting topic. Now I'm thinking about teaching, and when I look around the room, sometimes I don't need to give any notes or encouragement or pump them up. You got to do this, or all I do is I just look at them or pretend to look at them. And then all of a sudden their experience changes, their workout changes. I like that. It's a very interesting topic, being observed.
And to even take it further, I was looking at a National Geographic show, and these people that go out in the ocean, what do? They tag the animals. They tag the sharks, they tag the whales to observe them and to follow them, which I guess listen, that's what they're doing, but they're putting a camera on a shark to observe them. Yeah, this observing is a thing. And don't tell me that those Big Brother people, even though they know that the camera's there, there's certain things that they don't want to behave like if the camera's there.
Of course.
It's
And
the
then go ahead.
It's the same with the ego. It's just putting it on notice and letting it know that it's not in charge anymore. It is not. It used to consume. It was consuming. It was who I was. Decades and decades of ego is who I used to be. You just don't have that carte blanche anymore. You don't have that ability to consume me, take me over. You just don't. To kidnap me. No, you don't, ego. Not anymore.
That's really good. And even bringing it back to this show, it's time to be observed. You and me doing this. I mean, we have conversations all the time, face to face, FaceTime, voice, and it is a different tone being observed. And my ego is on watch, and my ego was on, it's always on watch doing the show. But a couple weeks ago, my ego tried to hijack me and did a good job. And y'all could see, run back the tape, episode 33, right off the bat, my ego was up and kidnapping me. And I'm here being observed by you, observed by our 2 viewers who popped in and popped out, and then of myself. And it's for whatever reason, those moments, the ego is really, really pulling out all the stops and scrambling and relentless.
Well, it gets desperate.
Mm,
It can only survive if and when I identify with it. It cannot survive if I'm not identifying with it. So this is about survival. And even in the animal kingdom, survival is everything. And it will survive for so long. And I'm good with it. But ego, this is a new day, new stage, and you don't run anything anymore. Either I'm winning or the ego is winning. And I'm going to win every time. Well, scratch that. But I'm aware that my winning, whatever that means. But you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I do. Well, and if you could say driving, who's driving, who's the one we're listening to, who's the one with the hands on the wheel. So, speaking of hands on the wheel, this car is slowing down. We've got a couple minutes, and I'll do my summary, but I don't need to do it right now.
Okay, well, I just want to say that the ego is the ultimate takeover. It's the ultimate will have me feeling I need to heal. I need to. Well, I heard something, and
Mm.
I sent this video to you, Nathan. It was emoji, and I mean it is so powerful. My heart is open. My heart is closed. How many people say that? I need to heal. Well, there is no opening or closing of the heart. There is no I need to heal. That's all ego. That's all a concept that the ego draws or pulls in or wants me to believe. And I'm not buying into it anymore. I'm not a sucker anymore.
Well, we got to be careful because these words and the heart is closed, the heart is opening. Those are words, and it really comes down to energy. And like we said with the gift giving, or any gesture, we can put words to it, but it's really the energy. You said in the beginning, you can feel when the gift is given freely. You can feel the agenda or not. The words are words on top of it. So yeah.
Yes. And I also want to say that we have, even though we had a segment of the show. What was the segment before?
Oh.
The creative corner.
Creative
which
corner. We're still gonna keep that.
we never got back to. And then our new segment of the show, which we haven't implemented, but it's a new segment. It's called Ask Us. And
Yes,
when you who's us, ask us.
that's right. Ask
Him,
us.
him, and
Hmm.
then me. Him and me.
Yes, that's
Ask
right.
us. If you really want good advice, good, solid, sound, heartfelt, foundational, rooted in advice in love,
In love.
in love.
Yeah, in love and in whatever, And I don't know how sound it's going to be. It's going to be sound for me. I'll tell you that right now. It'll be sound and truthful and heartfelt and thoughtful and as clear as I can, as clear as I can respond. Will it be right for you? We'll see. But
The
I
answer,
say you just ask.
yes, it's just ask us.
Ask us.
Not just ask, it's ask us.
Ask us.
Ask us.
I was thinking just ask. It's funny too.
No.
Ask
Well,
us.
let's see. How about this? Just ask us.
That's good. Just ask us is funny. And we did the creative corner, we did our song. We did it. That's how we came up with the song in our creative corner.
Yeah, but we haven't been back to the crew. We were
No,
going
we
to
haven't.
create this one, but
Yeah, we're going to do a little choreo. I guess it's happening in the moment.
yes, that's like everything does. Ask us. Just ask us.
Just ask us.
But ask me but ask him. If you want the right advice, ask me. If you want to go, off the rails and down the trail and up the hiking and down the road and across the river and through the woods, ask him.
Absolutely. And I'll stand by that. Listen, I'm going to give you a journey. I'm going to give you the scenic route. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, and if you want the bottom line that, basically fast food, go to her.
Not fast food, good food.
Fast, good food quickly.
And we're gonna debate, because last night we were talking about giving advice to people in relationships, and then Nathan said something about yellow. Well, there is
Oh, that's
just
right.
wave the yellow flag. The yellow flag. There's no such thing as a yellow flag. It's either red or it's green. It's either stop or it's go.
Well, we'll have to just agree to disagree, and it would be the perfect thing to bring back next week as a cliffhanger. Are there flags? Are there yellow flags? What's going on here? Well, we're going to talk about all that.
But I'll tell you what a yellow flag is. A yellow flag equals the D word. Drama.
Right.
But we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna have a repechage next week. Repechage. And thank you for the takeaways.
Yes, the takeaway. Can I do the takeaways?
Please.
We talked about obligation, being the present moment, ego, urgency, observation, the survival of the ego, and then yellow flags.
and
And
just ask us.
just ask us. That's the segment that you get as our loyal and faithful and happy listeners. You get to just ask us by email, or that's really the only way you can ask us right now.
Email or chat. We're in the chat on
Oh,
YouTube.
we're in the chat in
Yeah,
StreamYard.
yes, YouTube. We're live on YouTube, and there is a chat, so you can always ask us in the chat.
All right.
And I would
Well-
say ask me, don't ask him, but ask us.
All right. Here we go.
Great show today. Great show.
Great show.
As loud as possible. There we go.
Get into it. Don't act like you don't already know the name. Let's go. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? You heard me. Mother and son.
I'm choreographing
making
over
sense
here. You're
out
not
of
watching.
nonsense.
I'm trying to set this phone so I can use my hands. Oops.
What? I said you heard me. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. What? I said you heard me. Mother and son
good.
making sense out of nonsense. Plus more. Now it's out.
I like that.
Now let's listen.
Now let's fall asleep to the ending. See you next week.